Tonight on KGW News, the story that'll have you asking, why in the world?
And I wanted to cry, and then I wanted to, I got mad too.
How someone poisoned thousands of baby fish. They're the nurses inside Multnomah County's jail.
To get gunshot wounds, we are the front lines of the fentanyl and opioid crisis.
What they say has driven them to the breaking point and how they're demanding change. Then later.
The Denver Broncos select Bo Nix.
A proud day for Oregon's finest in football and their families as athletes find out they're going pro. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko. We begin tonight with a demand for change from nurses inside Multnomah County jails. They say they are overworked and underpaid, and they've also passed a no confidence vote in those in charge of health care. Alma McCarty spoke with one nurse to find out more about the changes they want to see. Alma?
David, the Multnomah County Corrections Health nurses sent a letter to county leaders today. In it, they say there's a staffing crisis leading to low morale, excessive forced overtime, and unsafe working conditions. And they say it won't get better until the county makes a change at the top.
When choosing this career,
I am one of the few pediatric corrections health nurses.
Jacob Metcalf understood there'd be unique demands.
Some people are very down in their luck, some people that are accused of doing some very heinous things, but I absolutely don't care.
That's because his focus is healthcare, caring for the incarcerated youth inside Multnomah County's juvenile detention center.
I want to make a difference to try and make an impact in our juvenile incarcerated clients' lives and hopefully not end up at the adult jail.
But at all jails in the county, he and his fellow O&A nurses say they're hitting a breaking point. Overworked and underpaid.
Since we have incarcerated individuals, we have to provide medicine, we have to be there, we have to take care of their acute mental health needs. We cannot not do the job. You need to have the resources to be fully staffed to be able to do the job safely.
The director and nursing supervisor specifically named in a multi-page letter from the union to county commissioners, the health department, and the sheriff. In it, nurses write they no longer have any confidence in these select members and are now calling for their removal.
And what else has to happen before we have a chance for new leadership? That's all we're asking for.
Corrections nurses claim gross mismanagement by the current director, who they say left for over a month during a crisis of inmate deaths last year, created a hostile work environment, and ignored staff's concerns about the conditions in the jails. County Chair Jessica Vega-Peterson told KGW she's very concerned about the allegations and stated, "All of us are committed to the safety and health of everyone in our detention centers." She says she's been working to schedule a meeting with union reps. The union is also pushing to present their case to the full Board of Commissioners.
I care about the county. I care about doing this job. I want to work this job until I retire. I want to go the distance.
O&A set a May 9th deadline for Multnomah County to fulfill their demands, which also include a wage increase to be more competitive with industry wages and therefore hire and retain more nurses. Meantime, the county says they've brought on more staff since last July, with 14 who've already started and 15 rehired to be on call. David?
Yeah, we'll see if there are conversations and where it all goes from there. Thank you, Alma. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines, there will be increased security tomorrow at Southeast Portland's Benson High School following a threat. An email was sent to parents saying it was made through an anonymous social media post. Portland police later determined there is no threat to the community, but out of caution, they'll have police near the school, extra PPS security monitoring campus, and counselors to support students. Staying in Portland, police say they have recovered 10 stolen vehicles as part of a special mission this week. 3 of them were found with the help of the PDX Stolen Cars Facebook group. Officers also arrested 7 people. Police say vehicle thefts have been on the decline over the last 12 months, and they credit their targeted enforcement efforts with at least part of that drop. And Portland police are investigating 3 armed robberies. They say all took place within a half hour this morning, and they're now working to figure out if they are connected. The first robbery was before 11 at Joe's Cellar on Northwest 21st. Then a few minutes later, police were called to another robbery at the Dockside Restaurant and Bar on Northwest Front. And finally, officers responded to a deli in Southwest Portland about 7 miles away off Beaverton-Hillsdale Highway. No one was hurt in any of the robberies. Washington County leaders are praising a program that provides quicker mental health evaluations to defendants in jail. As part of KGW Solutions project, we're looking into how this could improve Oregon's mental health care system if expanded statewide. Evan Watson with that story.
And we decided the state hospital was taking too long.
Washington County District Attorney Kevin Barton believes the county's rapid fitness to proceed process is part of the solution. Instead of waiting months for a defendant in jail to get a mental health evaluation from the state, Washington County works with private companies to complete tests within 2 or 3 weeks on average.
Because without this, people are waiting far too long for a competency or fitness evaluation.
That is correct. That hurts the person who's waiting because they often have a mental health issue and so they can decompensate while they're waiting for that. It hurts the victim of the crime because they're waiting for justice to proceed forward, and that delay really hurts the criminal case. It hurts the jail where someone is being housed because we're taking a jail bed, which is a scarce resource, and we're using it for someone where we could potentially use it for somebody else where there's a greater public safety risk. And it also hurts the judicial system process in general because the more cases we have that are bogged down, the more public defenders we need to use, the more courtrooms we need to use. It just hurts the overall process.
Judge Rebecca Guptill presides over the mental health docket in Washington County.
Going through our rapid fitness process saves time, saves days, and reduces the amount of time someone is in custody. The amount of money saved is astronomical.
Nearly $2 million in savings just last year.
To the degree that someone else can copy us, they probably should. I think it's really working well.
Companies Lithia and Northwest Forensics conduct the evaluations. Last year in the county, they completed 100 rapid fitness tests. They still couldn't assess everyone, and Barton says more funding would increase the scope of the project to hire more evaluators and get all defendants evaluated more quickly.
Is this something you would advocate to expanding to other counties?
Absolutely. In fact, I think what ought to happen here is the state ought to take a look at what's working well. Let's replicate that and expand it.
Work in progress there. Washington County is not the only one using the program. Multnomah County actually has 4 rapid fitness exam slots each week, though that is not enough to cover the need. Hey, if you'd like to catch up on any of Evan's previous uncommitted reporting, we have a new section on our website that features all of his stories. You can head to kgw.com/uncommitted. Well, we want to continue with the KGW Solutions project now with a look at education, specifically chronic absenteeism, meaning when students miss at least 10% of school days. As we have been reporting, it's an ongoing problem for school districts across Oregon, though it turns out one district has actually bucked the trend. In Jervis, chronic absenteeism dropped 12% for elementary school students this year, and it's down 17% in middle school. Administrators say they are getting creative to find solutions, and one way is with incentives, things like hosting popcorn parties and giving prizes to kids when behavior changes for the better.
We're calling you in because we've noticed that you've taken it to heart and you've improved, and we want to recognize that for you.
Though it is not just incentives, you can check out the full story on kgw.com, including what state lawmakers are doing to help. Hey, if you know someone or an organization doing good work in our community to solve some of our biggest challenges, we want to hear from you. You can email solutions@kgw.com. Well, to some sad news for fans of one Portland area noodle spot. Today, the owners of Boxer Ramen announced all 4 of their metro locations will close for good after this weekend. In a Facebook post, they say this is because of lingering struggles from the pandemic, compounded by inflation, and at this point, it's become impossible to continue operating after 11 years in business. They are inviting everyone in for one last meal during regular hours through Sunday. Straight ahead at 11, thousands of baby Chinook poisoned, who authorities say was responsible, and the excuse he allegedly gave police. Plus, from Corvallis and Eugene straight to the NFL, where some big local names landed in the first round of the draft.
And another round of snow hitting the Cascades. Here's Timberline for you right now. Snow flying, snow in the air, and a lot more on the way. Still 32 degrees up there, but there's a winter weather advisory up through tomorrow. In the valleys, it's been all rain. I'll show you how much we've gotten, how much more is on the way. And we'll take a look at the giant Pacific octopus.